Hi, I'm Rich Santos, Group Publisher for WealthManagement.com, the digital voice for Rep and Trust and Estates. We're here at the Tiburon CEO Summit in San Francisco, and I'm with Mike Apker. He's the business head for Envestnet Advisor Business Suite. Thank you, Mike.
Advisor Suite, yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about, we know that Envestnet provides wealth management platforms for FAs. Let's talk a little bit about the unified managed accounts end of your business.
So UMAs have been growing dramatically in the last few years. I think one of the things that advisors find compelling about UMAs is it simplifies operations for themselves and it simplifies life for their clients. You have a single brokerage account, you have one overlay manager, and you outsource all of your investments to a firm like Envestnet or other firms that provide UMAs. It simplifies and streamlines the operations of managed accounts.
So can you talk a little bit about how your technology adds value to a financial advisor's practice?
Sure. One of the simplest things that's great about a UMA is instead of having multiple brokerage accounts, you get all of those brokerage accounts collapsed down into one. But you end up having multiple sleeves that are managed independently. You could have an individual bond manager managing a sleeve, you could have a third-party strategist, or you could have the advisor managing a sleeve of their own. So it's simplification. It's also outsourcing, because instead of having to manage the advisor-directed portfolio themselves in one brokerage account and then journaling money from that account to a separate account, all of this is taking place inside of one account, outsourced through some sort of an overlay provider like an Envestnet or others.
How difficult is it to have the financial advisors embrace this, this particular tool?
It's an education process. I think a lot of advisors are very familiar with a rep or advisor directed accounts. So I think the first step is to educate the advisor to understand the difference between an advisor directed portfolio and a UMA, but I think typically once advisors understand that they're not really giving up much more than the headaches of portfolio management and rebalancing, it's a fairly easy thing for advisors to see the value in.
So do you see the headache of portfolio management and rebalancing as the biggest challenge advisors are facing today, or is there something else that Envestnet solves for?
Well, I think there's other administrative issues. I think billing the accounts, I think performance reporting on the accounts, I think just the administrative actions of money movement within multiple brokerage accounts. These are all facilitated and streamlined by a UMA structure and by outsourcing.
Okay. How does an advisor with so many different tools available to them today, how do they go about evaluating which works best for their practice? Is there something they should follow?
I don't know that there's any magic silver bullet there. I think that the best approach is to just take a look at the platforms and talk to other advisors and find out what they're using and what they like.
Okay. And going forward, if we were looking ahead the next 2 to 5 years, what do you see in the future as to services that you're going to layer on at Envestnet that don't currently exist?
Well, this is a service that currently exists, but I think it's one that will be growing in popularity, and that's tax overlay management, so that you can automatically have somebody looking over the account positions, looking for opportunities to automatically harvest gains and losses and to automatically do that as part of the rebalancing activity.
Very good. Well, there you have it, folks. Mike Apker, business head at Envestnet. We're here at the Tiburon CEO Summit in San Francisco. Mike, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Rich.